Launch control, this is Houston. We are go for launch.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's ChrisXradio.
What we need right now is a clear message to the people of this country. This message must be read in every newspaper, heard on every radio, seen on every television. This message must resound throughout the entire interlink.
And now, your host.
I believe this is going to be our finest hour.
Chris X.
Tired of all the winning? Oh, my Lord. The Democrats are tired of the winning, I can tell you that. They definitely are. They're sick of it. They're over it. They're done. Good afternoon and welcome to Chris X Radio. I am the aforementioned X-Man, along with Gary Bohemoth, who is once again assumed control of the airwaves. He'll maintain control here for the next 2 hours as we bring you that gift beyond price that is almost free, ladies and gentlemen. We bring you the spirit of talk radio, and boy, do we got plenty to get into, as we always do. It's a Monday. I don't even have time to go talk about the ISIS terrorists that Trump iced over the weekend. A lot of ice going on. Don't have time to talk about that. But we do have time to talk about, well, some of the other things he's done, and we will get into that as well. Also, we had anti-Trump deportation protesters over the weekend. They took over streets or roads in multiple cities, including right here in Houston. They shut down 59 going north, I guess, over at the Montrose Bridges. I can't remember what they're. Is it Dunvale or Dunleavy? Or yeah, I think it's Dunleavy. Remember those bridges? They used to light up and it looked real cool, and they said it cost too much to do it, so they quit lighting them up. I think they quit. At least that's what I heard. Anyway, they're all carrying their Mexican flags. Huh? What? Well, we'll get into that and a whole lot more. Once again, it is our Manic Monday edition of the program. Hope you all had a wonderful, safe, and happy weekend. It's, is it June? What month are we in? It's February. It's our first day of, first live show, February. So my first show, I guess. I haven't done any recorded February shows either. But nonetheless, it is already February, and it's feeling like, it feels like it could be August. No, not that hot. It's not that warm, but it is 81 degrees. We broke the record today. Global warming. Nonetheless, we are rolling for the next couple hours. From what I'm told, one of the people on the social medias who does the weather stuff says we have another cold snap coming in. So I think late next week, maybe. Now, remember, it was 4 years ago. In fact, it was the Valentine's Day ice storm that hit, that took out a grid that was woefully ill-prepared for it. Well, that's the last time it seems like the grid got hit. I mean, bad. And it didn't take down the entire grid, just parts of it. And I was in one of those parts, so I was without electricity for 4 days at the coldest 4 days in Texas history. I don't know if that's true, but it was the coldest 4 days that I remember. And it was so frustrating because my neighborhood was out, but half my neighborhood got their power back the next day. And then it took 3 more days for us to get the power back on my side. And I was like, what? There at the time, there was that a Taco Cabana that had shut down months earlier, but it had its ceiling fans going, and it was all the lights were on. And it had been that way for, I don't know, a month or a few weeks. Well, it was going. It never lost power, ever. I'm like, well, at least that I was tempted to go break into that place and just go stay there till my power came back on. I was tempted. I didn't, but I thought about it. Seriously thought about it. Anyway, okay, so we may get another cold snap next week, but definitely it ain't feeling cold this week. Right now, it's warm. It's 81 degrees this afternoon. I guess it's getting down in the 60s. I mean, it's warm enough to have a Corona and a lime with Chuck Schumer. So anyway, these Mexican. I say Mexican because they were all flying the Mexican flag yesterday. Hundreds of protesters marched in the streets in various U.S. cities yesterday to protest Trump's deportation policies. You had protesters in Dallas shouting, Mexico, 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 while carrying the Mexican flag. Huh? One protester spoke to the crowd saying, we immigrants come here looking for opportunity because they took ours from us. Huh? In Los Angeles, hundreds of protesters shut down the 101 freeway in both directions. In San Diego, more Mexican flags are paraded in the streets as nearly 2,000 people marched near the convention center. Here in Texas, protesters carried Mexican flags here in Houston, and they briefly shut down Highway 59 near the Montrose Bridges over there near Dunleavy or whatever it is. One protester was seen with a FDT sign. I think you can figure out what that means. Many protesters carried flags in Dallas as well. In New York City, they draped the Mexican flag and shouted, F ICE. They had the whole word. F Trump in a march near Times Square. So my question today is, what's the message here? You can't deport me to the country that I'm showing love for and I'm carrying the flag and chanting while protesting here illegally in your country, but you can't deport me. I love my country. What does that really mean? And what should happen to you if protesters are blocking the freeway? What do you think should happen to the protesters blocking freeways? In Texas, it's against the law. For those of you who didn't hear Chris Salcedo's program this morning, in the second hour, I think it was the second hour, he talked with Governor Abbott, and they talked about this. It was actually a really good interview he did. I was proud of him. He didn't yell or anything. Chris did great. So it was actually a pretty good interview with Governor Abbott, but they talked a little bit about that. It is illegal to shut down freeways. So I don't know how long 59 was shut down here in Houston, but my question to you is, what should happen to these protesters who are blocking the freeway? And what should happen to protesters who are carrying flags of foreign countries who are protesting people being sent who are here illegally back to their home countries that they're carrying the flag from? I do get it, but I'm going to play dumb for till we have a few calls and hear what you guys say, because I actually know exactly why they're doing what they're doing. 281-558-KSEV, 281-558-5738. I want to get your take. What do you think should happen to those protesters? Mexico has agreed to deploy 10,000 troops to the U.S.-Mexico border in exchange for a 1-month delay on President Trump's threatened tariffs. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum. It's so funny because that just does not sound like that would be the Mexican president. But nonetheless, Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum said today, it looks like Canada is going to do exactly the same thing. Justin Trudeau Castro. I'm telling you, it's Castro's kid. It's got to be. He looks just like him. Anyway, Justin Castro went out and said the same thing. They're also, by the way, that pushed back the tariffs on Mexico for 30 days. It also did the same with Canada. As Sheinbaum made the announcement earlier this morning on social media, they say roughly 12 hours before the tariffs were set to take effect. Now, Justin Castro made his announcement right before showtime. He was posting it on social media. He just had a conversation with President Trump, said it was a good one. He said Canada is implementing a $1.3 billion border plan, reinforcing the border with new choppers, technology, and personnel, enhanced coordination with our American partners, and increased resources to stop the flow of fentanyl. Nearly 10,000 frontline personnel will be working on protecting the border. In addition, Canada is making new commitments to appoint a fentanyl czar and will list cartels as terrorists, ensure 24/7 eyes on the border, and launch a Canada-U.S. joint strike force to combat organized crime, fentanyl, and money laundering. I have also signed a new intelligence directive on organized crime and fentanyl, and we will be backing it with $200 million. Proposed tariffs will be paused for at least 30 days while we work together. It's the first time I've ever tried to imitate Justine Castro, so I don't think he doesn't talk like his father. I'll leave it at that. But so Trump and it was so funny. I heard some of the calls this morning, listening to other radios. I was driving around. I had to go get my oil changed and my tires balanced and rotated. I'll be out on Thursday. I'm heading up to the hill country. I'm gonna go do a coon hunt with Rooster and Maddie. We're gonna go do a coon hunt. This ain't no coon hunt, baby sister. It's my favorite movie where everybody talked funny. True Grit, the remake, was pretty solid. It was a good remake. Anyway, so when I was doing that, I was hearing, of course, Chris's show and then some of the others. And it's so funny. Listen, it still cracks me up. I know why the Democrats don't get it. But if you're anything other than a Democrat, how can you not understand Donald Trump is never doing what he says on the surface? Did you not learn anything the first 4 years? And then now that he's back in over the last 4 years, that he doesn't do anything superficially on the front? I mean, it looks like he is, but he's not. He's very good at it. That's why he's able to do so many things. And my God, he's got the Democrats on their heels. And by the time they respond to what he's doing, they've already lost the issue. Now, the thing about being a Democrat's great, because they'll be wrong every single day for 4 or 5 years. They don't care how many, it doesn't matter how many times they're wrong. Eventually, they'll get something that's almost right, and then they'll go, see, I told you. See, I told you. Well, you told me everything was wrong for the last 10 years, and now you're... Anyway, I just can't believe, some people are calling it 4D chess. He's playing 4D chess, believe me. Listen, I don't play 4D chess, but I could see through this one. So apparently the others. Then again, maybe I'm not blinded by TDS, so I can see Trump a little clearer. But nonetheless, we got that. Speaking of, by the way, money laundering mentioned by Pierre Castro, USAID, U.S. aid staffers told to stay home after Elon Musk said Trump agreed to shut it down. Democrats are losing their minds over this. Apparently, this is one of those organizations where they were money laundering the hell out of it, and they're mad. By the way, I heard that Bill Kristol, saw Elon Musk posted, Bill Kristol was getting paid for them. So now you know why that douche, that dirtbag did a 180. Listen to just a few of the things that they were spending money on, and you tell me if we should keep spending our tax dollars. Here's Caroline Levitt, the press secretary for Donald Trump now. Take a listen.
Through USAID over the past several years, these are some of the insane priorities that organization has been spending money on. $1.5 million to advance DEI in Serbia's workplaces, $70,000 for a production of a DEI musical in Ireland, $47,000 for a transgender opera in Colombia, $32,000 for a transgender comic book in Peru. I don't know about you, but as an American taxpayer, I don't want my dollars going towards this crap, and I know the American people don't either, and that's exactly what Elon Musk has been tasked by President Trump to do, to get the fraud, waste, and abuse out of our federal government. Thank you, guys.
Is that where you want your tax dollars going? I don't. And oh my God, I've been reading, in fact, if you're a Twitter Xer, go to Twitter and go look at all the different things they're posting that they've been, we're talking about people up in Congress on what they've been spending money on with USAID. Oh my Lord. Anyway, and they didn't want to let Trump, when Elon Musk and the Doge folks came on there and said, hey, we want to kind of take a look at what's going on. They're like, no, you don't need to look. We're nonpartisan. Wait, what? That's not how this works. That is not how it works, partner. But do they care? No. They don't care. They're such dirtbags. This is what billions and maybe even trillions of dollars. I don't know, but Trump, he hammered them, said they're run by radical lunatics, and he's shutting it down, or at least he temporarily, at the very least. Marco Rubio tells Panama, U.S. and the United States could seize the canal over the handover deal violation with them allowing China to run things over there. And they're already making moves because of Donald Trump and what he's saying. Some more winning. Trump's going to start a war. Governor Abbott laid out his priorities in his State of the State address yesterday and proposed 7 emergency items. One of those is actual property tax relief. Remember, at the state level, they give us, was it $18 billion in property tax relief? And then all of the dirtbags on the county and the local taxing authorities immediately went in and jacked up your tax rates to offset it. Yeah, well, he wants to go through there and make it where they can't do that. So that's going to be interesting. I got some audio. I'll play from that here in the next segment. You're listening to Chris X Radio. Let's go and take a break. We'll come back. We'll also try to get some of your calls on the other side. You want to weigh in on any or all of these issues. 281-558-KSEV, 281-558-5738. I'm Chris X. We're just getting rolling. Don't you go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Listening to Chris X Radio on AM 700 KSEV, the voice of Texas.
Chris X here for Patriot Mobile, America's only conservative Christian wireless company. Tired of spending your money on dirtbag companies that take your money and give it to woke causes? Now you have an alternative. You ready to start supporting companies that actually support your values, maybe your principles? Patriot Mobile donates a portion of every dollar they earn to organizations that fight for the causes that you care about. Last year, Patriot Mobile donated well over $2.3 million to Christian and conservative causes. They give you that alternative, those woke companies that don't like you, and they use your money to take away your rights and your freedoms. Patriot Mobile has exceptional coverage on the nation's best 4 and 5G networks. They use the same towers as the main carriers. They have plans that'll fit any budget. Now, that includes multi-line users for around half of what Big Mobile is charging. Now, you can ask them about the Patriot Mobile One service, where you can get access to all 3 networks on a single device. That way, you'll have the most reliable coverage anytime, anywhere. Now, when you switch over to Patriot Mobile, you get to take away your support for those leftist, progressive, woke agendas of Big Mobile and add it to the conservative Christian causes of Patriot Mobile. A great company that's actually in line with your values and your principles, and you save a whole lot of money doing it. They even offer great discounts for our veterans and first responders. Now, switching is simple. Everybody's worried about switching their phone service. You can do it all online. You can go to patriotmobile.com/KSEV. That's patriotmobile.com/KSEV, or call their U.S.-based customer service line today at 972-PATRIOT. 972-PATRIOT. Now, when you call them, you can get it done there. Make sure you use offer code KSEV, and you'll get free activation and save even more money. That's offer code KSEV when you call them. All right, once again, patriotmobile.com/KSEV, or call them directly at 972-PATRIOT. That's 972-PATRIOT.
Hi, y'all. It's Kathy from Baker Mortgage. You know, with all the scary stuff we've been through, it's still true that timing is everything, and the time to buy is now. But don't go looking without a solid pre-approval in hand. And this includes an application and a detailed discussion about property taxes. If you didn't have the talk, about property taxes, you really don't know what you're pre-approved for. That should make you wonder what else they may have left out. Mortgages are personal. Let's face it, we're dealing with your home and your money, and it doesn't get much more personal than that. When it's the largest transaction that most people will ever be involved in, imagine having someone on your side looking out after you. What a concept. We audit your closing statement to make sure you're not paying for things that you're not supposed to. Do you think your big bank's going to do that? Probably not. For all of your mortgage needs, call us at Baker Mortgage. I promise you'll be glad you did. We're at 281-313-MOVE, or go directly to bakermortgage.com.
Equal housing lender. License number 263213.
We're with food entrepreneur Trey Jordan, and today we're going to talk about pimento cheese.
Oh, yeah, we're going to be talking pimento cheese, and I am so glad to be here with you. It's kind of like a homecoming for me coming to Texas. My mom's from Texas. My parents got married in Texas. I went to school at Baylor, and I know Texas loves their pimento cheese. In our restaurants in Memphis, we had 3 small delis. We sold over 80,000 pounds of pimento cheese until March of 2020 when the pandemic struck. We were forced to close every single one of our restaurants down. We never reopened, unfortunately. But the one thing that everybody did, they came knocking on the door and the window when we were closed and said, wait, I got to have my pimento cheese fix. Give it to me. With the big game coming up, you can scoop and score with our pimento cheese. It's the greatest football snack that you can possibly imagine. If you want to order us online, you can order at pimentosbrands.com and you can get it, or you can go to Randall's or Central Market and pick it up at your local store. Again, check us out at pimentosbrands.com. There's a store locator there, and you can find out where to get Papa's Original and Jalapeno Pimento Cheese.
Is it time to sell your house? Well, then hire a real estate team that will sell your house quickly and for top dollar. That's the Ronnie and Kathy Matthews Group. The team concept starts with experience, a drive and passion from Ronnie and Kathy Matthews, the founders. They built their team with specialists from every aspect of the real estate transaction, from the buyer's agent to the contract administrator to the marketing specialist. This team is working full-time to get your home sold and every detail handled professionally. Call Ronnie and Kathy Matthews Group at 281-440-7900 or on the web visit thematthewsteam.com. Ronnie and Kathy Matthews Group, your realtor for life. Call now for a free home evaluation, 281-440-7900. That's 281-440-7900. Or see for yourself and go online at thematthewsteam.com. I chose them as my realtor, and you'll be happy if you do as well. That's the Ronnie and Kathy Matthews Group at 281-440-7900 or thematthewsteam.com.
That's the Ronnie and Kathy Matthews Group, brokered by EXP.
The voice of Texas, the voice of reason. ChrisXradio. ChrisXradio.
This is a good song they don't ever play anymore. It was Big Empty from Stone Temple Pilots. Very cool song. I like it anyway. All right, welcome back to Chris X Radio. Glad to have you here with us as we are rocking and rolling. We're just kind of really getting rolling. All right, I'm going to play some more audio for you here. This is going to be a short segment, and then we'll come back and get your calls on the other side. Glad to have you here with us. I want to get your take. One, we had a lot of anti-Trump deportation protesters waving Mexican flags across the U.S. yesterday, shutting down freeways. And they shut down 59 over near the Montrose Bridges last night. And they're waving flags of Mexico and shouting, Mexico, 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 while carrying Mexican flags here in America, protesting people illegally in our country being deported to Mexico. Huh? I know it's all over anywhere else, too, but I'm assuming if you're carrying the Mexican flag, I'm confused. Anyway, I'm not really confused. I actually know, I have a pretty good idea. But so what's the message here? What do you think? You can't deport me to the country that I'm carrying the flag for while protesting illegally in our country? What does that really mean? You ever heard the old adage, can't serve two masters? Right? Unless you're a Democrat in America. What should happen to those protesters, first and foremost, blocking the freeway? 281-558-KSEV, 281-558-5738. And we could talk about USAID a little bit here. Marco Rubio telling Panama, hey, man, the U.S. could seize the Panama Canal if you guys don't get your act together over the deal violation. So that'll be interesting. All right, so yesterday, Governor Abbott laid out his priorities in the State of the State address, proposing 7 emergency items. Now, if we get time, we'll get to those 7 items. If not, you can go look them up. But one of them was no new taxes. He's proposing more tax relief from the state level after what happened when last year they just cut our taxes down, $18 billion overall, and immediately the Democrats on the local and county level jacked up your property tax rates. So so many people, including those of us in Harris County, you lose that tax cut. It's gone thanks to the Democrats. Oh, wow. And it's funny because I can't tell you how many people I debated with and could not make them understand. They're like, they're all the same. See, they're supposed to cut our taxes. They didn't cut our taxes at all. Well, but they did. No, they didn't. Mine didn't go down. Okay, that's anecdotal. You got to understand. Yours didn't go down. They did on the state level, But on the county level, they went up because the dirtbag Democrats who keep getting elected at the county level offset them. In fact, more than offset them in some cases. Anyway, here was Governor Abbott, just a portion of what he was saying yesterday at his State of the State address.
Texans are facing an affordability crisis. That's especially true as it concerns the affordability of owning a home or renting a home. And one reason for that crisis is because of skyrocketing property taxes.
Yeah.
Now, last session, we cut your property taxes by a total of $18 billion. But we know that you didn't feel it. And there's a reason you didn't feel it. And that's because local taxing jurisdictions use loopholes to jack up your property taxes even higher. Harris County, for example, raised your property taxes by 10%. It's outrageous. So what we are achieving this session, I want another $10 billion property tax cut. But that's only going to work if we eliminate the loopholes that prevent local taxing authorities from raising your property taxes. So what we must do is require a 2/3 voter approval to increase taxes. No 2/3 voter approval, no new taxes.
Okay. I could be for that. So what's funny, think about that for a second. They could literally go and eliminate the state level property taxes, and the local Democrats in Harris County could jack up theirs, and you would have to pay even more than what you're paying now. You know, I think we're so vastly beyond taxation without representation, it's utterly ludicrous at this point. It's insane. Anyway, okay, so I think you know where I stand on the issue. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back. Once again, I want to get your take. You guys want to weigh in on these protesters? They did their little ballroom blitz yesterday and decided to shut down some freeways in L.A. and in Houston and in Dallas. Now, here in Texas, it's illegal. What should happen to these dirtbags carrying flags of another country while protesting people in our country illegally being removed, sent back to their country of origin? Seems like it doesn't make sense, right? 281-558 KSEV. I'm Chris X. We'll be right back. Don't you go anywhere.
Chris X Radio. Texas born, Texas raised. The voice of Texas.
Hey, are you feeling the impact of the recent changes in the timeshare industry? Well, my friends at Lone Star Transfer, they are the only company I trust to help you. Now, they have an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau, and they have thousands of five-star reviews. Now, their customer service is their top priority. Now, for a free consultation and a guaranteed solution, call now at 833-594-0075. That's 833-594-0075. On the web, it's LoneStarTransfer1word.com.
Hi, folks. Dan Patrick here. Beautiful and healthy trees increase your property value, but sick, ugly trees will decrease the value of your home. That's why I recommend you call Ability Tree Experts at 281-441-4179. Caring for the beautiful and valuable trees on your property that you can't replace. That's why you need to call my friend Louis Flory and Ability Tree Experts. I've known them for over 40 years. Gosh, this guy is the pro when it comes to taking care of trees. Well-fed and pruned tree will be less susceptible to wind damage and uprooting. You know, pruning is important for the health of your trees and allows the sun and fresh air into the canopy. Trees can be in distress several months without showing any signs. So don't wait to protect your investment. Call Louis Flory now at 281-441-4179, 281-441-4179, or visit their website at abilitytrees.com. Right now, receive a deep root feeding with every tree pruned. That's Ability Tree Experts. Ability Tree, Houston's leading tree care professional.
Listen to the Total Wealth Academy radio show Monday through Saturday and learn how to build a second stream of income with real estate and lead a more balanced life. Check TotalWealthAcademy.com. That's TotalWealthAcademy.com for showtimes. Thank you.
Everyone knows the BBB is the Better Business Bureau, but depending on what you need, it's the Better Plumber Bureau, the Better Auto Mechanic Bureau, the Better Accountant Bureau. That's because the BBB connects people with businesses they can trust. So think of the BBB as the better check that business out first so you don't get ripped off bureau. Be smart. Always look for the BBB seal because it's looking out for you. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
Chris X Radio.
I'm wondering, with the anti-deportation protesters yesterday waving Mexican flags, shutting down 59 over near the Montrose Bridges, shutting down roads in Dallas and in Los Angeles. What should happen to those people? I know in Texas it's illegal. I want to get your take. What does it say when you're protesting saying you can't deport me or anybody to the country of their origin while they're carrying the flag of another nation? In fact, many for the very nation they don't want to be deported to and illegally in our country. What does that mean? What should happen to those protesters blocking the freeway? It is illegal in Texas. 281-558-KSEV, 281-558-5738. Let's go ahead and go to the phones, pick up with Geronda listening in Arizona. Geronda, thanks for hanging on. Welcome to Chris X Radio.
Oh, hi. Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, whichever it is.
We'll go with good afternoon. Good afternoon, Geronda.
Yes, good afternoon to you as well. Thank you for taking my call. No,
absolutely. What's on your mind today?
Hey, I want to talk about now this stuff that's going on, and I got to be honest with you. My papa, we both know Chris Salcedo, and well, we can barely get through to him or anything like that, and that's okay. I understand you guys are totally busy, but I want to talk about the. Now I know that since Trump won the election, all the Democrats they're getting their panties in the wad. And they got a bitch about something. Oh, I'm sorry. I said the B word. But I have a problem with these people, whether they vote for Democrats or Republicans or whatever. Now, I got a problem because my papa and I, now, we love America and we are Republican, but we have a problem with people burning our flags within our country. Now, these people, they're here regardless. Now, I understand that. But I got to tell you, we got a real problem with these people within America living here. Now, they're getting our money, they're getting our food, they're getting our taxpayer housing, they're getting whatever they need. And these people go out there, whether I think they're being hired by George Soros or whatever. Now, why should we allow them to go out there and burn our American flags when, like my husband was military, my father was military. They did everything for the United States of America. Why are we supposed to sit back and allow these people to sit there and burn our flags, and we're supposed to sit back and not say anything, even to Congress? Hold
on, John. Let me stop you right there. First of all, thank you for the call. Let me stop you. We are supposed to say something, and we did. It is legal to burn the flag here in America. That's our right, and that's what your father and your brother served, and thank God for them, and I appreciate their service. But they served so we could have the freedom, but not people illegally in our country, and that's where the Democrats are. What happened is everybody got out and voted for Donald Trump and told these lefties, these Democrats, these, the mealy-mouthed Republicans, if you will, and then, of course, those people who want to allow people to illegally do those sort of things in our country. Those days are over, at least for now. Tom Homan, ICE, Donald Trump's administration has made it priority number one to start deporting people. They're already doing it. They're going and rounding up illegals, people illegally in our country, and the entire world has changed. The entire world has changed a little over 2 weeks into the Trump administration. Why do you think these people are out there? When you say they're being funded by George Soros, yes, various George Soros groups are funding these, but also they're funded by communists like North Korea and China. They fund them as well. But the problem is, if these fools are illegals and they're getting out there and doing this, it's going to come back and bite them right there in the behind. They're lucky that ICE hasn't started the raids here in Texas just yet, or at least in Harris County. But they're coming. They're not going to stop. Trump is not going to quit what he's doing. This administration is behind him. The vast majority of the American people are behind him and voted for this. Listen, we are compassionate people. We are the most compassionate nation that has ever existed on this planet. But when you come over to our country and you start doing exactly what you were talking about, taking money and you're not working and you're living in hotels, you get free food and clothes and then all these criminals going and doing what they're doing, and then you're protesting, people being upset because we're working our butts off, paying taxes that are going to stupid things like this or trans issues thanks to USAID, in Lebanon or whatever. All of a sudden, people got real sick of it. And the more Donald Trump is in, the more the message gets out. The people are sick of it. And every time these people get out and fly a flag of Mexico or any other country while they're protesting America, we're one of those few countries that don't have walls to keep people in. I'm going to say that again. We're one of those countries that don't have walls keeping people in. We have to put up walls to keep people out because we're getting so many of them from all over the world that they're bankrupting our country. And the Democrat Party does not care. They will continue to do it because they're grifters and they launder that money and put it in their pockets and their friends' pockets and their cohorts' pockets. We'll just say that. But the American people have gotten wise to it. That's why the Democrats couldn't even cheat their way back into office in this last election. They're not being allowed to do this. It's going to change. That's why Texas, with Governor Abbott, they passed the law, and he signed it into law. Was it last year or year before? These people cannot protest in the streets and shut down freeways anymore. If they're caught, they will be arrested, and they will go to jail. And here's the best part. Texas is a country that will work with ICE. I know Harris County would do everything they can to try to protect them, providing them legal services thanks to Lena Hidalgo and the Marxists on Commissioner's Court. Yeah, they'll take our tax dollars and give it to illegals to fight being deported, to fight, them being held accountable for crimes committed in our country. That's what the Marxists do. But they're Marxists. In other words, there's a reason why they're protesting Trump. He is raining on their parade. And it's going to be very interesting to see where we are 6 months from now. Look at the difference he has made. He's already deported thousands of people. He's been in office 2 weeks. So everything that you're asking for, Geronda, is happening. Don't just let the news make you forget that this is not happening. It is. And the vast majority of people are behind it. They're sick and tired. What was the first piece of legislation that was signed into law in the second Trump administration? The Lake and Riley Act. In other words, we're mad as hell and we're not going to take it anymore. Thank you for the call. 281-558-KSEV, 281-558-5738. Let's go to Crash listening in Pearland. Crash, thanks for hanging on. Welcome to Chris X Radio.
What's going on there, big guy?
Not too much. How you doing, Crash?
I'm doing good. It's only Monday. It's too far away to get excited yet.
Good point.
Hey, two things, and then I'll hang up and listen. But if I was Tom Homan right now, I'd be putting ICE agents in every large city in the U.S., and the next time they go to protest, I'm checking IDs. That way you don't have to chase them down. They're all in one place. So, I mean, it's pretty damn stupid if you ask me. If you don't want to get caught and sent back, then why expose yourself to the ones looking for you? But,
it's a dumb strategy, Crash.
Well, the other thing I was going to talk about, I was listening to Salcedo on Saturday, and he brought up something towards the end of his show that I found interesting, and the reason why everybody or the Democratic Party is after Kash Patel. And apparently he's got the golden ledger or knows where it is within the government as a classified document, and it has absolutely scaring the pants off of these fools. And I'll hang up and listen.
Yeah, thank you for the call, Crash. First of all, Kash Patel, yeah. He's read the JFK files. He's read the 9/11 files, the J6 files. He's read them. He knows them. He's not allowed to talk about the stuff that is classified, but he does know this. That guy has scared the bejesus out of all of these corrupt politicians on both sides of the aisle. I hope he gets confirmed. So, yes, I like Kash Patel. I think he would be a fantastic director of the FBI. And he would go through there and start cleaning up so much of this nonsense, so much of this idiocy. And what's amazing is look what Doge is doing. I don't know if you've seen this, but Doge has already identified over $1 trillion of waste and spending here in the American government. And they, like I said, with this USAID thing, they discovered that they're spending God knows how many billions, if not billions, if not $1 trillion+ dollars. But they also discovered that there's no oversight. There's no oversight whatsoever by anyone. Now you know why the Democrats are all upset today. They're losing their mind over because they're shutting it down. They've got money going out in every direction, and no one can check it, and no one. There's money I was reading earlier today, money being sent to unnamed sources. Millions of dollars. It's amazing what they're doing. It just got shut down. The Democrats are going to be going insane over this. Just like Schmuck Schumer was all upset earlier today about we're not going to be able to get beer because of the tariffs in Mexico. Come on. And now Trump was already working a deal, so that's already out the window. So Schmuck Schumer's wrong again, like he always is. But they don't care. They're shameless. They do not care how many times they're wrong, as long as they get what they want. And then not limes, well, them too, I guess. But avocados. So was it a meme earlier today? We're going to change the name to avocados to Americados. That's how Trump works. They're going to be Americados, and they're going to be better than ever. It's so good. All right, we're over. Let's go ahead and take another break. We'll come back. We got Eddie and Pete. You guys hang on if you want to get in. 281-558-KSEV. 281-558-5738. You're listening to Chris X Radio. We've got one more segment remaining here in the first hour. And then hour number 2 locked and loaded. Oh, that's right. We got a long way to go. Plenty of time to get to more of your calls. 281-558-KSEV. We'll be right back.
Chris X Radio.
This is Kevin O'Hara with O'Hara & Company Real Estate in O'Hara Homes. I'm going to drop some truth bombs that I believe. We're in a global war against evil. Donald Trump is a wartime president. COVID-19 was not the bioweapon the jab was. A surgical mask will not prevent you from getting a virus. The 2020 election was rigged. If you're watching mainstream media, you're being lied to. The elites of this world have been running the largest human trafficking and pedophile ring. The Ukraine is a deep state stronghold. God is real and created 2 genders, male and female, and Jesus died for our sins. If you're not awake yet, you better wake up. If you want a real estate company that'll give you the truth, give O'Hara & Company Real Estate a call at 281-373-3393 or look us up on the web at o'harare.com. If you're looking for a contractor, call O'Hara Homes at the same number, 281-373-3393. God wins this war. Nothing can stop what is coming. Where we go one, we go all. God bless America and God bless Texas.
Plumbing emergencies never happen at a convenient time. Nix Plumbing offers free estimates and free second opinions. Call Nix Plumbing and Sewer Services, 713-868-9907, or visit us on the web, nixplumbing.com.
MPL 38548.
In times of economic uncertainty and chaos, your money means nothing. You may not even be able to get it from your bank or ATM. And the money you do have in the stock market will go down and down. What you can bank on is gold and silver. Gold and silver have been a reliable and trusted form of currency for thousands of years. Gold and silver have never been worth zero, and typically gold holds its value during economic turmoil. Call the Gold Hotline now and learn how to protect your money and your assets with gold and silver. And learn how to set up a new IRA or roll over your current one into a gold-backed IRA. Protect your money from the next market crash with gold and silver. Call now for your free gold guide.
Call 800-594-9698. 800-594-9698. 800-594-9698. That's 800-594-9698.
You can't stop him. You can only hope to contain him. Chris X Radio.
it's the crystal method. Wait a minute, my phone just gave me a music thing, a music reminder or something. I'm like, what? I don't have any music downloaded on my phone. I don't listen to that much music anymore. All right, welcome back to Chris X Radio. You reached the final segment of the first hour, but don't you go anywhere. We got hour number 2 locked and loaded for you as well. If you want to get in, 281-558-KSEV, 281-558-5738. Once again, we've got these deportation protesters that are shutting down freeways across the country. At least they did yesterday. You guys remember this last time? It was darker people doing it. Everyone's like, oh, it's racist. No, they were called Black Lives Matter. And they went off and were shutting down freeways, so much so in places like Dallas and San Antonio and Austin that Governor Abbott went through and made a law that says, listen, I don't care who you are, you don't shut down freeways, it's illegal. And now they're all carrying the Mexican flag. So I guess they're slightly less dark skinned. I don't know. I'm not really good at the whole racism war thing because I'm not a racist and I don't give a damn what your color is or your ethnicity. I just want good people. And I believe that America, because we're in America, American people should come first. And I have a problem with you flying the flag of another country while you're violating multiple laws in my country, including the law of coming here illegally. So my question to you is, what is the message here? You can't deport me to the country that I'm carrying the flag for while protesting illegally in your country. What does that really mean? I actually got a pretty good idea what it means. I also know who's funding a lot of these things too. What should happen to these protesters blocking the freeway? I don't know. And then they're burning the American flag. All I can say is they're not doing themselves any favor. I can tell you that. All they're doing is making the American people, the ones that aren't crazed, the leftist lunatics, liberalism is a mental disorder. They're making everybody else listen. Okay, deport them. We're a pretty compassionate country, but people don't care anymore. We're tired of this. You can only lie to me so many times before we go, okay, I'm tired of rapists and murderers and people committing crimes in my country, and you can't tell me because of avocados or beer or whatever that we can't stop it. And you can't lie to me about immigrants built this country and all the other garbage they espouse and then shut people up. No, you can't do that. So let's go ahead and go to the phones. We'll get your take, 281-558-KSEV. Let's go to Eddie listening in Sugar Land. Eddie, thank you for hanging on. Welcome to Chris X Radio.
Hey, thanks, Chris. I just wanted to touch on the caller earlier that said it was talking about burning the flag, man. And I hate to see it, man. It literally pisses me off. But you know what? If you go and buy a flag and you want to burn it, that's your right. What I think we ought to do is if you steal my flag, which most of these guys are pulling flags off a flagpole, you steal a flag and you burn it, we ought to throw your ass in jail for a year. We ought to load up fines to break your bank account. That is enforceable.
Yeah, it's the left would do something on the exact opposite. So, yeah, if you're going around stealing people's flags and burning it, that's criminal. That's steal. That's theft. It's interesting, too, and I get her point because the last thing you want to do is, because it burns me up when I watch somebody burn the American flag. I hate it, too, but I understand that is our right as Americans. Now, if you're here illegally and you're burning our flag and you're carrying the flag of another country, that's not... That is not migration, folks. That's an invasion. When you carry a foreign adversary's flag while burning the American flag, committing laws in this country, breaking laws, committing crimes in this country, I got a problem with that, Eddie. A big problem with it.
Yeah, if you're in this country illegal, I don't think you have a lot of rights. So burning the flag, I think that's out too.
Yeah, no, I'm right. Thank you for the call, Eddie. I appreciate it. Yeah, I understand. There's basic human rights. We don't want to violate anyone's rights, but you have no right to be here committing more crimes. And that is vandalism, depending on where you're burning it and what you're doing. And if you're shutting down freeways, that's against the law. And if you're assaulting people and you name it, it's just amazing where we find ourselves. 281-558-KSEV. The interesting thing was apparently it didn't happen for very long last night. So I imagine they split, got the hell out of Dodge once they did it. But, that sends a message across the country to Tom Homan and ICE agents. Because we already know they're slowly but surely showing up in cities across this country and going after the really, really bad ones. Well, you start blocking traffic, now you're causing a problem. You're putting the spotlight. I saw a video earlier today. There was this one dude, an illegal in Houston, saying, I'm in Houston, come get me. And then apparently ICE released a video. Hey, we're here. Come on outside. Apparently they went to that dude's house and paid him a visit. And they didn't pull him out of the house. I don't know what happened. It was the beginning of the videos they were getting there. So I don't know if that's legit or what. But, yeah, you start putting a spotlight on yourself. This is a new time. This is not the Biden administration. The American people are getting sick of this. Thank you for the call. Let's go to Pete listening in Splendora. Pete, thanks for hanging on. Welcome to Chris X Radio.
Hey, Chris. I heard you talking about the property tax of Harris County, slamming those guys, and deservedly so. They deserve it. But let's not forget, if you didn't know, Montgomery County, controlled by 100% Republicans, raised our county tax by 9% with no vote. So I want to make sure that's out there. I know you got a lot of listeners in Montgomery County, and I heard Ben and Paul on Friday saying the same thing about Harris County. They never mentioned Montgomery County did the same thing.
Yeah, I guess maybe because we're all over in Harris County. But, yeah, you're right. No, I remember hearing about it. And those Republicans who did that in Harris County, they should have some splaining to do when it comes to the primaries.
Yeah, I think my commissioner is the only one I know in Montgomery County. I know he voted no, but the other three voted for it. So I can only vote for the one in my district. So
yeah, no, but you did the right thing by calling in, let everybody else know, because you're right. We got a lot of listeners in Montgomery County, you name it, Fort Bend. We got our signal reaches all over. So, but you're absolutely right. No, that is a Republican-controlled county. And it's pathetic that happened up to 9%, whereas in Harris County they jacked it up over 10%. Yeah. So, but you make a great point. It's not just Democrats doing it. So thank you for the call, Pete. I appreciate it.
You bet.
No, you're right on. Thank you so much. But it's the Democrats definitely did it. They jacked it and then went through and worded it squirrely so they could try to raise taxes even more and got people to vote for it. It's amazing how they operate. Then again, these are the people that were squirreling around with elections for the last 4 years as they got rid of, duly elected people running elections. As soon as the Marxists got in, the Lena Hidalgos, if you will, and the Rodney Ellises and the, Adrian Garcias, they went in and got rid of the ability to conduct elections by elected people and brought in their dirtbag leftists to run the elections, and they crashed and burned every single election they did, claiming it was just an accident, it was just a mistake, while they slowly but surely assumed more and more power in every single election over and over and over again, until at the state level they went, no, you can't do this anymore in Harris County, sorry. It is amazing watching what these people do. But we're up against Marxists, so when you understand that, it makes it a little clearer, it makes it more understandable. You go, oh, okay, so that's what they're doing. Like I said. Now, thank you for the call, Pete. I appreciate it because it absolutely, it's infuriating when the Democrats do it, but it's also infuriating when the Republicans do it. And they did in Montgomery County. It's funny because, like I said, I was talking on a few weeks ago, I'm ready to move out of Harris County. I'm so tired of people working on the state level and going and doing great things for our state, and then I don't get the benefit of it because I'm stuck in Harris County. And I was born and raised in this damn county. And I see the difference when the Democrats took over, and I don't know if we'll ever get it back because they're Marxists, and Marxists don't follow the rules. They don't care. But do I want to move to Montgomery County? Well, not if they're going to do the same thing. Hopefully they can clean it up. We shall see. Hour number 2 is up next. Don't you go anywhere. 281-558-KSEV.